Today we're going to be talking about 5 tips to help quarterbacks with accuracy that you may not know. Now, the first reason that a lot of quarterbacks will miss high and low on their throws is with a wild front elbow. So whenever we throw, you guys, you always want to keep your front hand up by your face like you're eating out of a sandwich to keep your release inside of your frame. A lot of quarterbacks have a lot of different arm slots. You look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers, he has more of an arm slot like here. Look at a guy like Tom Brady, he has a higher arm slot, but what they all have in common is this front hand. A lot of young quarterbacks will take this front elbow and pull through. And when you pull through, your front shoulder dips, your head tends to dip, and that front arm or that throwing arm can get pushed up high, and if we release it early, it sails. We release it late, it goes in the ground. So guys, think with your front hand, you're eating out of a sandwich or singing out of a microphone, so your release point can stay tightened inside your frame, and we can just snap, extend, and finish on the throw. Now, one of the main reasons that a lot of quarterbacks will dip their front elbow down is because of an improper throwing base. Now, not a lot of quarterbacks know this, right? Not even a lot of quarterback coaches emphasize this. They'll just say, oh, keep your hand up higher. But guys, as a quarterback, we're a rotational athlete, and we're gonna generate power one way or the other, especially when it's a further throw, like a 12 to 15 yard dig, for example. So a lot of quarterbacks in their base, they have a lot of weight onto their front foot. And so when they take a step to the target, they have no weight on their back leg, their back hip is not able to fire through, so they can't rotate at your hips. And as quarterbacks, we always wanna rotate with our hips. So when our weight's forward to get the ball there, because like if you keep your hand up by your face, eating out of a sandwich or is singing out of a microphone like we said, and you try to throw without rotating with your hips, ball's not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna feel insanely wrong. So a lot of quarterbacks, because their base is forward, they'll do this as a source of power because they're not getting any rotational power from their hips and from their legs. So guys, in our base, we wanna try to stay stacked. I want my head, my knee, and my foot stacked on top of each other so my foot can be underneath my frame. So when I take a step to the quarterback or take a step to the receiver, excuse me, I could transfer my weight, my hips start to rotate now because my feet are actually inside my frame. I have some weight back, and I don't need to swing this because I'm actually generating rotational force with my lower body. Now fellas, the quarterback position is not just about arm strength, accuracy, being able to throw hard. You also need to have the mental side of the game tapped in. So if you guys want to learn how you can read defenses, how to recognize coverages, and the weaknesses of each defensive coverage, guys, check out that very first link in the description below where you can get access to our How to Read Defenses exclusive content. We have over 500 different videos on there, all organized into categories by coverage. So cover 1, cover 2, Tampa 2, etc. And we break down the weaknesses, how to identify from a quarterback lens, and how you guys can ultimately improve your football IQ. So if you want some more information on that, you guys, check out that very first link in the description below. Let's get back to this video. Now, tip number 3 to help quarterbacks with accuracy is to keep your shins straight. So this is one of the common reasons that quarterbacks will miss high on throws is because when they strike the ground, they lock out with their lower body, and that makes that ball almost shoot high, almost like you're shot putting the ball. So let's talk about it, right? So a lot of quarterbacks in their base, they're in a very quad dominant position. So that means that they're like sitting their quad, their butt essentially stays straight, they're bending their knees, but their knees are almost past their toes. So guys, we're trying to rotate from where? My hips and my core. So I take a step to the target and my knees are past my toes, I can't really rotate, so what happens is I lock out, and that's what makes the ball shoot high. So guys, if we could be in more of a glute dominant position, not a ton, just a little bit, glute dominant position, try to keep my shins straight. When I take a step to the target, I can just rotate straight around, keep my release in a good spot, and not pop up, causing that ball to sail high. Now, another common reason that quarterbacks will miss passes because they do not get to an extension point and they bend their elbow as they release the ball. So a lot of quarterbacks, they call it short arming the ball. A lot of quarterbacks, when they throw it, they'll throw and they'll end up finishing like this, right? The magic spot to be accurate. A lot of quarterback coaches misinterpret this as well. A lot of quarterback coaches say, oh, just flick your wrist, but it's much more than just a flick of your wrist, because you can still flick your wrist, but bend your elbow. You want to be at an extension point. So by extension, I mean when you release the ball to the target, your wrist, elbow, and shoulder should be in a straight line at your release point, and then you can let the arm fall wherever. You can let it fall straight down. Some guys extend and then they come back across. Some guys extend and go opposite pocket. I really could care less about that point, but I just need the extension at that release. Now, the next tip for quarterbacks to help you with accuracy is to not watch the ball as you release it. So many quarterbacks are so concerned with throwing a tight spiral, throwing inaccurate balls, that when they release that thing, they'll watch it, right? It's especially on deeper throws. And so what that causes a lot of younger quarterbacks to do is, because they're trying to watch the ball, they'll dip their head, that'll drop their front shoulder, and that release point can get overly high and outside of my frame. So guys, let's keep my eyes level to the target. Even if I'm throwing a deep pass, I don't want to watch it come off my hand, because naturally naturally that's gonna cause a lean. I wanna keep my head on the spot that I'm trying to throw to. I wanna snap and extend, and after I follow through, then I could watch the ball. Do not try to watch that ball as you release it. That's a problem that a lot of young quarterbacks have, which leads to a major decrease in accuracy.